Hey guys, Monsengan here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we're going to be taking a look at the new physical LR Super Saiyan trio from Movie 8 versus the Blue Gogeta Blue Zone stage. So this one will be interesting because of course these guys are physical, they don't have guard, but, well actually, there's certain situations where they have guard, especially in the standby, but they're physical but they get very, very good defensive capabilities. So we should be looking pretty good against these guys. Starting off here against the gods, let me just double check, because when they're in their normal base form, we get the orb changing, we get extra key, we get damage reduction, extra damage reduction when receiving a super. Yeah, I didn't miss like guard in their base form, did I? It's only with the standby, but they get a lot of defense, and I think it's very interesting, like this new mechanic essentially where they get extra damage reduction specifically only against a super attack, which I think is very interesting. They have 15% damage reduction as it is, but then if they're taking a super, they get an extra 30%, but it's only against the super attack. It's not like it activates and then any other attacks they take for the rest of the turn, they also have that. It's only for the super, which is really good because obviously we get a lot of units in the game now, especially units that could be considered more support type units that will tank normals but they'll die to a super. So having this ability is obviously very useful. I mean, it makes them a bit less overpowered than them just straight up having 45% damage reduction. So there will be some events against certain enemies that can raise attack, and like special events like the ones we see come out where enemies raise attack every turn and stuff like that, where they could get into situations where they could take damage from normals. But they give them this little extra bit of protection against super attacks, which I think is very cool. So this unit is really, really good. When people saw their details, especially compared to Broly, I saw a lot of people disappointed. I saw people calling them mid, which I mean happens every time any unit gets revealed ever. But the more I've played with this unit, the more I really, really like them. Their defense is incredibly high after supering. If you're at 24 key, they get an extra 240% defense. And they already start off at relatively decent levels. Get extra defense from one of their super attacks. I forget which way around it is now, whether it's the 12 or the 18 key that gives them the defense raise. They also do lower attack on their 12 key, which they can do multiples of potentially. So especially in events like this, where we're fighting a boss who can be attack lowered, because it's the final 3 phases. Once he becomes Gogeta, he can be attack lowered. That can be really, really useful. And then we have Future Gohan on the team, who's still very good. It's nice to see him having gotten a couple more new 200% leaders since last year when he released for part 2 of the Worldwide. He's still very much a runnable unit, so definitely enjoy using him on this team. Bulma, of course, these guys have Power of Wishes as a 170. She's not the, like, you know, contention for best unit in the game that she used to be. She does need time to like build up her damage reduction and stuff like that, but as a unit that can be on the team giving support, potentially like floating her to keep her hidden from some of the more dangerous attacks and stuff like that, she can definitely be very good. Obviously the active skill turn, getting the big buff, getting a full heal because of the orb change, like all of that stuff can be really, really good. And then of course we have the Int Super Saiyan trio. They are one of the best link partners for this new Super Saiyan trio, funnily enough. And we have the new banner unit, which I think is really, really good. I think we probably do put them in slot 1 here, because these guys don't need build-up, whereas the Int Super Saiyans do carry attacks over to the next turn, so it's very beneficial for us for them to actually get to attack. And they do have damage reduction for the first few turns as well, so we don't need to worry about them taking damage from normals. We got the Vegeta and Piccolo exchange unit from the trio banner. I only have the 1 copy of them at 55%. They have a scouter for their first appearance, which is quite useful. That basically gives us the safety to know we could put the Int trio in slot 1, because they carry over that defense raise from their 18 key. They'll carry that over into the next rotation, so that is really good. I think here what we want to do is keep Gogeta on rotation, just so, because Future Gohan will tank the super better than him, I think, even though he does have guard on the first couple of turns. But we'll go ahead and do that. Gogeta suffers from, he was in slot 7 here, something that the new units don't have, which is really good, is that Gogeta has, and Broly with his transformation, have the from first appearance turn counter, whereas the trio and the new Broly have from the start of battle, and so does the Vegeta and Piccolo side banner unit. So because this Gogeta was in slot 3, and we didn't float him off, like he's going to be on his next appearance, it's going to be turn 5, and he still can't transform. which is a little bit annoying. He does still have his guard at least, but it's one of those things. Start of battle turn counters are always better, especially when it's for something that is optional, like an active skill. Because if you do get to a point where, you know, you say the unit was in slot 3, so then on their next rotation you have the opportunity to use their active skill. For some units, if it's a transformation which then stops them from stacking or something, you might want to not use it straight away. But it's always nicer to have the option than to not have it. Whereas obviously for Gogeta, we just kind of have to wait now. Because normally with Gogeta, you're kind of transforming him straight away anyway a lot of the time. But we will not have that option on the next turn because it is 4 turns from his first appearance, not from the start of battle, which is very annoying, but it is what it is. So Future Gohan finishing him off here, nice and easy. Nice 1 turn phase here. We are turn 4. Alright, so let's go ahead and put these guys in slot 1. Now we do want to try and make sure, yes, this is the only problem with these guys together, is the way they can kind of like cannibalize each other's orbs, which is a little bit awkward. So we'll do this. I get 4 orbs for them, which is not great. And then it also means we're probably not going to get the support for Bulma, which is also really annoying. Because, yeah, this team definitely not perfect, at least like this version of the team. Wow, we can only get 1 orb. That's so bad. She might actually get clapped at the end here. You never know. Yeah, very bad for this rotation, I guess. But if these guys get a bunch of additional attacks, they do lower attack. The only annoying thing will be if he supers Bulma. My Bulma is built for full dodge as well, though, so you never know. We could get lucky. But, yeah, that's the only downside to running the physical trio with the int trio, is them potentially, like, taking each other's orbs and leaving it in such a way that they can't both get exactly what they want, which is annoying. But, you know, it is what it is. Get the additional super, get an attack lower here. The friend one is Rainbow, but not full level 10 links. My physical trio is 55%, but is level 10 links. So we can see the comparison between the numbers that they do. These guys aren't full level 1. I think they're mostly at like 5s and 6s, but we've got a couple of additional supers, which means we do get the extra attack lowering, which is good. I forget which super Bulma lowers attack on. Hopefully not the 18 key, since we didn't get it, but the Super Saiyans, we didn't get a lot of orbs, so they're not going to be doing too many attacks here. We do get the hidden potential, I think, because we only got, was it 4 orbs? So we get the hidden potential additional, which does raise their attack a little bit, ready for the next turn. Yeah, unfortunately not quite close enough for the trio getting double dodge. They're built for full dodge as well. Bulma lower attack, is it the 12 key? It is. Okay, that's good. He hasn't supered yet, though. Is he going to not super, or is he going to super? I know he's going to not super this turn. Okay, well, we take those. So, we get the exchange into Vegeta here now with the banner unit. I did the 55% showcase for him yesterday. Pretty solid unit. Very much helps out the Saiyans with the active skill. If you wait for like the turn where he's going to orb change, which will be the next turn. So I think I probably will do that. Although, again, this is a really awkward rotation. Like, I've got, like, no key. Man. So, I mean, we'll do that. They still get a decent bit of defense on hit if you only get a couple of orbs, but it's not ideal. And then, of course, Vegeta gets a big attack buff and guaranteed crit on the first turn. But I don't think we're going to have to worry too much about that. The Super Saiyan's only getting the 12 key is also not the end of the world, because that's another super that lowers attack on top of the potential additionals. So keep lowering his attack is good. And then Vegeta gets a guaranteed crit here. Okay, they're going to eat the super. How much are they taking from this? Because bearing in mind, we didn't get a lot of key. Only 50k, and that's with type disadvantage. So yeah, that's definitely very good. 8.6 for Vegeta here is very good. Because once he transforms, he's obviously got much better links. Because he's not a Piccolo unit anymore. He did an additional normal, and then he tanks the normals for double digits. Obviously, bear in mind that Gogeta has been attack lowered a few times, but still. Type disadvantage, eats the normals for double digit damage, and then physical Gogeta gets to get an extra 18 key super in here. Get another stack. And then I guess I want to save the standby for the guys that are with Vegeta, though. So we're probably not going to standby here. Okay, so good orb changes or no? No. Great. We got a lot of active skills we could use on this turn if we wanted to. I mean, let's use Future Gohan's one, because he does get a permanent buff afterwards. I do love this active skill. As much as I think the choice of, like, voice line for Goku is a bit weird, considering... If it was, like, to Kid Gohan, which I think is where they probably took the voice clip from, right? From, like, the Cell games or BoJack or something, then it makes more sense. But to say it to Future Gohan after everything Future Gohan's had to go through, I think is wild. But it is what it is, I guess. That's the dialogue line that they went for. So, the trio... I mean, we could probably kill him this turn, but it's going to be a bit risky. We can get 24 ki with them with 3 orbs. That's so good. I mean, Gogeta is very squishy and probably dies to the Fist of Hope. So I probably don't want to kill him on this turn, right? Because I want to go into the standby on the next turn. So yeah, let's do that. And then grab those. Because yeah, well, we want him to survive this turn, so then we can go into the standby with the Goku. And then use the standby to hopefully finish off Gogeta. So, yeah, I love the 18 ki for these guys as well. Like, all the animation is so good. Like, it looks so crisp. All of the I say sprites, but like all of the character arts and everything. Obviously, whenever we see enemy sprites in the super attacks, that's a different story. Especially with this one. But they don't stay on screen for too long for it to look too bad. So yeah, I do quite like this. Get the additionals, lower his attack a little bit. And then the trio, what are they looking at here? 17.9. Mine have 2 dupes, so yeah, they're definitely still a very solid unit. Nice damage. This is where I don't want... we're going to kill him, aren't we? Yeah, they're going to do a super... Yeah, Gohan's going to kill him. That means we're not actually going to get to use the... I think I said Fist of Hope before, which is not really what this is called, is it? I don't know. But... yeah, we're not going to get to use the powered up fist. In fact, actually, this will probably do quite a bit of damage to us. We got type advantage, though. Because their damage reduction... No, wait, have they still got their full damage reduction? Well, either way, double-digit damage, I'll take that. So... Future Gohan's domain, of course, doesn't actually do anything, because we're not fighting an extreme enemy. But it does buff him, so there is that. Oh boy. So basically the reason this works so well, and I talked about this in the showcase for Vegeta, but we basically got the same thing happen again here. So Vegeta basically changes every orb type pretty much apart from int into physical. So then we go ahead and use the standby for Goku, and Goku's standby ability is that he changes int orbs into physical. So the entire field is just going to be rainbow and physical orbs once we've done this. And then Vegeta himself, the orb types that he picks up isn't really that important. And then we can use the active skill for Bulma, change the entire field into STR orbs and pick up all of those. So that's 18 with 2 rainbows, 18 with 3 rainbows. Yeah, we want to make sure we get the most physical orbs because that's what gives us the most charges. So immediately to 34 charges. There's no AoEs on this turn as well, which is actually really useful. So we'll pick up the physical orbs for you because that gives extra charges as well. Then we go ahead and we don't need to see the animation for Bulma. Let's just get that out of the way nice and quick. Get the active skill, full STR orb field, which means another 23 charges. And then of course every time he gets hit we get 3 charges for Goku getting hit. So Goku in slot 1, bearing in mind he basically picked up the entire field of orbs, is now getting supered by STR Gogeta, who can do a lot of damage with his super attack, and we take double-digit damage. And then he gets sealed, which doesn't matter because he doesn't attack. That's one of the only times where you can kind of cheekily get away against these bosses that do stunning or sealing on super, is when they end up hitting an enemy or someone that's in a standby, or like Broly on turn 1 in the early phases of this event where you can be sealed, where like it doesn't matter if he gets stunned or sealed because he's not going to be attacking anyway. But Vegeta here, we got 2 additional normals, 278. Okay, well, that means we're dead. God damn it. Man, at 55%, I wish he was that little bit better defensively, because at 55%, like Goku gives so much extra defense from picking up all of those orbs as well. But man, that's disappointing. Okay, so we're back to the Gogeta's phase. I've used the active skill for Future Gohan. I think the safest thing might be to actually just use the standby with the other Goku straight away. Because the Vegeta, well, I still kept the Vegeta on the team even after what happened last time. But we're not going to, the timing kind of matches up awkwardly sometimes because of because of that massive orb change. It kind of makes you feel like you want to save the active skill, like the standby for the Goku, for the turn where you can pick up all the orbs. I mean, I guess technically you can pick up orbs with somebody else in slot 1 and then use the standby ability in slot 2. So you've picked up a bunch of extra orbs and got a bunch of extra charges, which I guess could be useful. But that's the one thing I guess that can be an issue, is I have found myself, like, if we get to that turn, like we exchange into Vegeta, the standby is available for the trio, but then I don't want to use it because I want to use it for that turn that we showed at the end of the last clip, where Goku then transforming, like, all the orbs on the field are basically physical and in, and then Goku going into the standby turns all the in orbs into physical, and then you just get the entire rotation, and it's super good and super easy. But the other thing we can do, of course, is remember that we have 2 of the trio on the team. So I'm going for the kind of strategy here of using this standby with them fairly early on, in the hopes that we can maybe not finish him off this turn, which again, I think Future Gohan maybe will do too much damage, but not finish him off this turn, then have the next rotation, we finish off this Tech Gogeta. Then we go into the first turn of the final Gogeta turn, and we use the standby fist attack with this Goku. And then obviously we can go into the standby straight away in the next turn with the other one. Of course, it doesn't really change much when it comes to the Vegeta potentially being a liability kind of thing, but we'll have to see. But of course, Gohan gets all the additional supers and gets the KO here anyway. So we'll see how this plays out. But I mean, the trio themselves, absolutely fantastic, right? Like in the base Gogeta phase, they tanked a super for double-digit damage against STR Gogeta. So, I mean, they are very, very good defensively, even with type disadvantage, which is nice. So, yeah, see, this is the situation we kind of were in before, except now we've got tons of AoEs on the turn, which is definitely not what we want when it comes to this guy. Because he does have 50% damage reduction, but unfortunately that's just not enough. Because in fact, honestly, I think the only way we actually survive this turn now is to use an item. And I brought Senzu Beans because, of course, I can't remember what the last thing I was recording was, but the last stage I was recording was, I think, did I do the showcase? I think when I did the 55% showcase for this unit, funnily enough, I did the transformation, like, boost, boo absorption stage thing. And so obviously you want to have the Senzu Bean for like the rotation locking and stuff. So unfortunately, without throwing an item up here, I'm pretty sure that means that unless we get a clutch like dodge, which I think I gave my guys, because they're only 55%, a level 5 dodge orb, pretty sure we just die to the AoEs now, because of course Gogeta super attacked first, which means oh wow, they took 872k in slot 1. Well, there you go. So even with the 24 key, support, well, Vegeta doesn't give support, does he? Once they exchange, Piccolo was giving support, but he doesn't. So that is interesting to note. Like, as good as the trio can be defensively, they absolutely die to a slot 1 super from Gogeta there. So that's a little bit awkward. See if we can actually get the finish here with the Spirit Punch. Maybe I will take Vegeta off the team. Oh, well, I can't anyway, because I'm out of attempts for the day against Gogeta, because I did the Broly recordings today as well. But, I mean, there you go. Let me know what you guys think of the trio. They're definitely not, like, invincible. You can see there. Especially, we do have a lot of bosses in the meta that are STR. So, I've seen some people on Twitter and in some of the comments and stuff. I have seen the few. It's very rare. But I've seen people saying that they think the trio is better than Broly. But from what I've seen from my experience so far, and especially with that ending right there, I would say that whilst they are very, very good, I don't think I would put them above Broly. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. We will be trying them out against the Beast Gohan stage as well. So let me know all of your thoughts about the LR Physical Super Saiyan Trio down below. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out all the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.